저희는 오늘 아일랜드 대사관으로 출근하게 된 1일 인턴 주영파랑
예은파랑입니다. 저희가 지금부터 아일랜드 대사관에 가볼 건데요. 그럼 함께 가보실까요?
가보실까요?
여보세요? 네, 알겠습니다. 무슨 보물이 있다는데?
보물이 있다고? 네, 이제 아일랜드 대사관에 도착했는데요.
아일랜드 상징색이 초록색이라 그런지 지금 곳곳에 초록색이 엄청 많아요. 혹시 주영파랑님, 이거 초록색 의도하신 건가요?
의도한 건 아닌데 아무래도 아일랜드랑 저랑은 운명인가 봐요.
사실 저는 의도해서 초록색 셔츠를 입고 왔습니다. 그러면 초록색 아이템도 장착했겠다. 한번 들어가 볼까요?
Could Your Excellency give us a brief introduction yourself?
Of myself. Okay, well, my name is Michelle. I have been in Korea for almost 2 years. I have 2 children and a husband. My daughter is 9, my son is 14. It's my first time as an ambassador, so I have been working as a foreign affairs official for about 7 years. And before that, I think you noticed I have a background in development cooperation. I come from Dublin in Ireland, and that's where I grew up. I majored in economics at university and then development studies. I'm a big reader. I love to read. I'm a total bookworm. And I like to go walking as well.
Okay. And second, what motivated Your Excellency to become a diplomat?
Well, it sort of happened by accident, really. Because I started out working in development cooperation, that had me living in different countries and working in different types of organisations. I then came to the Irish Foreign Ministry to work on development cooperation, which had me doing a lot of work within the European Union, with the UN, with the OECD, and really a lot of that work, particularly around development policy, is effectively diplomacy. It's negotiating outcomes with different countries. It's immersing yourself in different cultures and different experiences. It's analysing the policies of other countries. So I sort of drifted in, really, and then I was appointed to be ambassador in Korea. Ironically, I've spent most of my career working in countries that are desperately underdeveloped, and then I got sent to Korea, which you could even argue is slightly overdeveloped, but so from that point of view it's been fascinating, but really it's not that different in terms of the day-to-day work from working in development, certainly at policy level.
What is the biggest difference between working at a non-governmental organization and working for government as a diplomat?
So that's a super interesting question. I think we are more in the government system. We are more disciplined about our messaging. Everything that I publicly say is effectively the voice of the Irish government. Sometimes I have to hold my tongue, sometimes I have to keep my opinions to myself. In an NGO, it's a little bit more fluid. You can say what you want, it's fine. You can have differences of opinion, it's okay. Too bad. If I disagree with something the Irish government believes, too bad. I just have to get on with it. So that kind of discipline of messaging, I think, is one key difference. I think also there's a big scrutiny on how we spend money here, because people think embassies are are kind of fancy and a little bit kind of glamorous and so on, but actually it's not true at all. And so we have entire teams of people in Ireland who scrutinise how we spend money, who monitor our paperwork. All of our emails are subject to public inquiry if needed.
And how did Your Excellency feel while working for a non-governmental organization? Were there any challenges or particularly rewarding aspects of your experience?
Well, I think the fundraising is a big challenge. Rewarding, when you work in development, different people are motivated by different things, but most people are motivated by making a difference in people's lives. And particularly when you work for a relatively small NGO, as I did, being able to get in the car and drive to the countryside and meet real people whose lives you'd made a difference to, not personally, but that your organisation had changed the lives of. I mean, there is nothing more rewarding, to hear people's stories and understand how the challenges they faced in their lives and how you helped them to overcome, and then be able to say, gosh, well, if we could do this for 10 households, we could do it for 1,000 households, we could do it for 100,000 households, and that kind of change at scale thing is really, really motivating, for sure.
Irish author Claire Keegan's novels have become a big hit in Korea. In this context, Koreans become more aware of Ireland's enduring Ireland's enduring reputations for literature, and numerous Irish individuals are becoming acquainted with Korean culture, enjoying K-culture. Therefore, we would appreciate hearing Your Excellency's perspective on enhancing cultural exchanges between Korean and Ireland.
So the cultural stuff, has existed for a really long time, right? So the two really, really famous writers we have in Ireland, who are now dead, W.B. Yeats and James Joyce. And both of those writers, they have active societies here in Korea that have studied all their work that's been translated into Korean and in English too. So I was really surprised to find that almost the biggest fan base of Joyce and Yeats is here in Korea already. I know that the Korean embassy in Dublin have had a lot of kind of K promotion stuff in the last couple of years. There's like a festival they do every year in Dublin, I think. And just before I came, 3 years ago, they had a global K-pop dance competition, I think. And the winner was Irish. There's an Irish guy who won the global K-pop, and there were people came from all over the world to do that competition. So K-pop and K-dance and so on is huge in Ireland. Now, of course, it is our priority to try and promote more contemporary Irish culture. Joyce and Yeats are fabulous, but they're dead a long time, right? They're not writing any more books. As you say, Claire Keegan is a fabulous opportunity. Irish film is a really lively industry, just like K-drama. And you may have known that the Cillian Murphy, who won the Best Actor Oscar for Oppenheimer, he's Irish. He's from Cork. So we're very proud of that. Loads of opportunities coming up. There's actually, I think it was earlier this week, there's an Irish Film Festival happening. So you could check that out. It's on our Instagram page. We hope to have a literature festival later in the year. Every year we also celebrate Bloomsday. Bloomsday is the day when we celebrate James Joyce. He wrote a very famous book called Ulysses, which was set on the 16th of June. The whole book was set on the 16th of June. And so every 16th of June we celebrate Ulysses. We'll be doing that again this year. So loads going on. Music. We have a very lively traditional Irish music group here in Seoul. All Korean. Everybody's Korean, not at all reliant on a single Irish person, and they play music, live music, all over the city, all the time. There's an Irish dancing festival. you can take up Irish dancing. So yeah, I think the opportunities are endless, and particularly the literature. I'm super excited about the literature because we have a really fantastic book scene in Ireland. Young writers producing awesome pieces, and I keep finding them translated into Korean. I keep discovering them. This is another one here. This lady here, Sally Rooney, wrote this book called Normal People, all in Korean. And that's a really clever book because it's set in Trinity College Dublin, which is where a lot of Korean students want to come and study. So it's well worth a read as well. But all these great books being translated into Korean just gives a fabulous opportunity. And also, if I had to pick one aspect of Korean culture that I like the most, it's some of the K literature. I mean, there's some brilliant books, really wonderfully translated into English. So I'm super excited about the whole literature thing.
What are 3 keywords that represent Ireland and why?
Well, now, I think nature. Nature is one. I think pride. We have a lot of national pride. And then I think probably wit, humor. You know, we don't take ourselves too seriously in Ireland. We have this dreadful expression, having the crack, and everybody always finds a way to make a personal connection, often through humour. We laugh a lot in Ireland, and I think that is something that a lot of Koreans appreciate sometimes too, because sometimes life can be very serious in Korea, and so it's nice to just go and have a laugh, make friends and have a laugh, you know.
Thank you.
I might just tell you a little bit though about, if it's useful. We have, I get asked this all the time. People who don't really know Ireland don't realise this, that there are a whole load of similarities between Korean people and Irish people. So if you look at our history, weirdly, even though we're the other side of the world from each other, our history is very, very similar. You know, we were occupied, colonized, we had our freedom taken away from us. We had our British friends with us for 800 years. 800 years. So, you know, that colonization experience and having an external force try to suppress your culture is something we've shared. Korea has experienced famines. We have had a number of years of famine in the 19th century in Ireland. So that leads us to be slightly obsessed with food. All things about food are really important to us. I think we also, you know, in Ireland, our island is divided. Northern Ireland is part of the UK. And so we have 2 different jurisdictions on the island. And even though the people in Northern Ireland are the same as me, you know, we're all Irish. And so that experience of a divided landmass like you have with North Korea is another massive similarity. And also, we went pretty quickly from being really quite poor to one of the wealthiest countries in the world, really quickly, in the same way that Korea did. Just as Korea was having your transformation in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, we were having exactly the same over the other side of the world. So some of those similarities of experience, I think, mean that we're quite similar in character. We're very, we can be a bit sentimental. I think we're both prone to being a bit sentimental. We're very superstitious. We're obsessed with food. But I think also we're very determined people. We're very determined to get on and be successful. And so I think that's why when Irish people come to Korea, they stay, to be honest. They make their lives here, and similarly when Koreans go to Ireland, they love it so much. So it's a really special relationship, and of course I have a very great responsibility, along with Ambassador Kim in Dublin, the Korean ambassador to Ireland, to just keep that strength and make use of it and build from it, you know. So.
And if only one person opened their hands, so we can see only 5 fingers, the person will be opening. I see. So we all open our hands when you name them.
Your turn.
Okay.
감자, 감자, 감자.
0.
You say zero, but you open your hands.
Oh, sorry. I've lost.
It's my turn.
Okay.
Okay.
감자, 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 감자. 10.
Oh, okay. Then it's just turn.
Okay.
감자, 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 감자. 10. Oh.
Come on, winner.
You won.
Yeah, I won.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome. You're very What on earth? That's amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. Oh, that's very kind. Thank you so much. English, that chose some poetry in particular, and he used to.
미안하다. 보물이 있다고 했는데.
아니야. 집에 가자.